Nox had stopped counting the days after the first week. Time moved differently aboard the Celestial Dominion's flagship, where silence was both a weapon and a cage. He sat in the corner of the observation deck, watching the stars blur past at speeds that defied human comprehension. 3 weeks had passed since they'd pulled Alexa from the wreckage of Earth's last defense station. 3 weeks since she'd watched her entire squadron incinerate in the void. 3 weeks of absolute, unbroken silence. The medics had cleared her physically. No neural damage, they said. No physiological reason for her muteness. Nox knew better. He'd seen that look before, the 1,000-yard stare of someone who'd witnessed the end of everything they'd sworn to protect. The Dominion had claimed Earth in a matter of hours. Their crystalline warships had torn through humanity's defenses like paper. Their technology so advanced it seemed almost magical. Nox, a human liaison officer, had been one of the few spared, kept alive to facilitate the integration of his species into the Empire's vast network of conquered worlds. But Alexa, she was different. She was a problem. The Dominion's psychological analysts had tried everything. Telepaths had attempted to breach her mind, only to recoil in pain. Their most advanced AI couldn't predict her next move. She sat in her assigned quarters, ate when food was provided, slept when darkness came, but never spoke, never acknowledged anyone's presence. Except Nox's. He'd noticed it on day 5. A slight shift in her eyes when he entered the room. Nothing dramatic, just a flicker of recognition that told him she knew he was there. The Dominion's overseers had dismissed it, but Nox had made it his mission to visit her every day since. "The Imperator wants to see you," Nox said softly, entering her quarters on the 21st day. "Both of us, actually." Alexa sat by the viewport, her profile illuminated by the glow of a dying star system. She didn't turn, didn't acknowledge his words. Nox sighed and moved to stand beside her. "They're going to make an example of you if you don't cooperate," he continued. "Show the other humans what happens to those who resist, even silently." Still nothing. Nox had learned to read her stillness. The tension in her shoulders told him she was listening. The slight clench of her jaw revealed her anger. But the walls she'd built around herself remained impenetrable. The Imperator's throne room was a cathedral of dark matter and pulsing energy. The ruler of the Celestial Dominion sat upon a seat that seemed to exist in multiple dimensions simultaneously, his form shifting between states of matter that human eyes struggled to comprehend. The human female remains non-compliant. The Imperator's voice resonated through the chamber, speaking in frequencies that made Nox's bones ache. "This is unacceptable. We have been patient, but patience has limits." Nox stood at attention, Alexa beside him, her face an impassive mask. Guards lined the walls, towering beings of crystalline armor and plasma weaponry, each capable of reducing a city to ash. "Your species will learn submission," the Imperator continued, rising from his throne. "Starting with this one. She will speak, or she will serve as a cautionary tale." The temperature in the room dropped. Energy crackled around the Imperator's form as he descended the steps toward them. Nox felt his heart hammering against his ribs. He'd seen this before, the moment before an execution, dressed up as justice. The Imperator stopped directly in front of Alexa, his massive form towering over her. "You will speak, human. You will acknowledge the supremacy of the Dominion. You will." "Nox," the single word cut through the throne room like a blade. Alexa's voice was quiet, almost gentle, but it carried a weight that made the entire chamber fall silent. She hadn't looked at the Imperator. Her eyes were fixed on Nox, and in them, he saw something that made his blood run cold. Not fear, not defeat. Recognition. Double quotes. "Nox," she repeated, and this time her hand moved to the pendant around her neck, a seemingly worthless piece of earth metal that the Dominion had allowed her to keep. "Do you remember what you told me when we first met?" Nox's mind raced. They'd met at the academy, years before the invasion. He'd been a junior officer, she a cadet with more talent than anyone he'd ever seen. He'd told her, his eyes widened, that some wars, Alexa continued, her voice growing stronger, are won not with weapons, but with patience, with waiting for the exact right moment. She pressed the pendant. The throne room erupted in light. Nox threw himself backward as ancient Earth technology the Dominion's sensors had never detected. because it predated their understanding of human warfare activated throughout the flagship. Alexa had been the delivery system all along, smuggled aboard in the chaos of Earth's fall. Not a survivor, an infiltrator, you see, Alexa said. Her voice now amplified through the ship's communication systems as emergency klaxons wailed. We knew we couldn't fight you fairly, so we didn't. The Imperator lunged toward her, but Knox was faster. He'd known, somewhere in his subconscious, that this moment would come, that Alexa's silence had been a countdown, not a surrender. The quantum payload within her pendant had been ticking down for 21 days, mapping the flagship systems, learning its weaknesses, and preparing for a single, catastrophic moment. My name is Captain Alexa Vance of Earth Defense, she declared as the lights flickered and died throughout the ship. And I have a message for your Empire. In the darkness, Knox heard the Imperator's scream, a sound of fury and, for the first time, fear. Humanity, Alexa continued, her voice steady as the galaxy's most powerful empire fell to its knees around her, does not kneel. The flagship went dark. Across the Empire's territories, her words echoed through captured communication networks. Earth's gambit had paid off, and it had all started with a single name. Spoken after 3 weeks of silence, Knox smiled in the darkness. Welcome back, Captain. It's good to be back, Lieutenant. Now let's go finish this war.